Hello everyone, today I'm working on this SD80 and I'm going to do kind of a review for you of the XL Systems DCC and sound decoder. So it comes with an instruction sheet and it comes with a triangular box like this, which is okay because it protects the chip well. And you also get an instruction sheet, which the instructions are actually pretty easy. It's just a straight drop-in decoder. So we'll be trying this out for you guys today. So I haven't cleaned this engine out before, although it looks really good. I'm still going to take a look inside and re-lubricate it. I don't have too many of these. This is my only one. And the previous owner kept the little baggie for me. In the little baggie there's number boards and there's extra handrails. So I'll probably be putting them on just before I put the shell back. So I'm going to start with the shell removal. I used the box method to remove the shell. It was pretty easy to take off. Looking at everything, it looks like it's never been run, so that was actually a very good purchase. Still going to clean the wheels though. So the first thing to do, if you guys have an SD90, I'm assuming that the drive, everything's the same size, including probably the circuit board is exactly the same. Yeah, this looks to me brand new, like it's never been run. And I'll just loosen my screws so I can get the trucks out. Then the same for the front one. If you've had one of these before, you know they're really smooth runners. Just loosening the frame so I can get my trucks out. And also I'm going to take the circuit board out. Just pull back and lift a little bit. Then we'll compare the two boards. Let's see what I've got inside there. While you're doing that, be mindful of the two little insulators. You need them. Again, everything looks new in here. I don't even think I need to lubricate anything. Everything seems to be new. Here's something I never noticed before. One of the trucks says F for front and R for rear. So that's good. You're definitely not going to mix them up this way. So I'm going to clean the rear one for you guys. And then I'll do the front one off camera. Well, it's definitely not new because there's extra lubrication here that it really doesn't need. But that is not a big deal. Everything looks squeaky clean, so I'm still going to clean the wheels. And I'm just going to remove a little bit of this extra oil. I don't really need that. So I just clean my wheels with my rag. That's going to remove any dust or even grease from the wheel. I don't know too much about DCC. I guess they run like the maximum power on the track, and then the decoder sends small amounts of power to the motor. There. So I've only got 4 more of these to do. Now I'm gonna put the contact strips back. There's a little pin where it attaches to the gearbox, and then the 3 axles go in their holes. Make sure that that's done right. If it's not right, you will feel it. It will cause a little bit of friction, and it won't roll as smoothly as it should. It should be really effortless. And then the side frames, I took a second to wash it with my dish soap and some my old toothbrush. I can tell it's not perfect, but once you got it set, you can bring in your side frame. Hey, there's days like that. Even I get those days where things don't go exactly as you want. Yeah, a good tip if you want to increase your patience is you tell yourself that you have plenty of time. If you start thinking I only have 5 minutes to do this, you're gonna get stressed out, and then you might even get mad at your project. So that's not very good. So once you get it in, you're gonna feel it snap in, and then keep checking it with your fingers just to make sure that everything's 100% the way you like it. My iPhone froze up on me this week. It was a real pain. I called customer support at Apple Computers. They were very nice. They told me what to do. I had to go hook it up to a computer and then reload the iOS, but unfortunately I had to also find all my passwords again. So that, I guess for a lot of people, I have 10 passwords at work and another 20, maybe 20 for my personal stuff. So it just goes on and on and on. It's getting tough to keep track of all these passwords. And you know, especially the banking ones, you definitely want to memorize those. So anyways, I was very proud of myself yesterday. I was able to do that, completely reload the iOS on my phone. And once I got that done, I had a really good feeling of satisfaction. Let's see if there's a lot of oil on this. I'll just absorb it. The oil is not really bad, but it does stick to dust. So you don't need too much oil or grease on your side frames or the trucks or the gearboxes. Now that everything's clean, we can go and put everything back together. The contact strips, if they fall out, that's okay. I'm gonna put them back together in no time here. So I'm just checking everything to make sure that everything's aligned together. Just Just make sure that this little pin's where it goes. There. That feels much better. And then I'll put the contact strips and then the two trucks. Oh yeah, they fit kind of loose in there. That's interesting. And they go over and under here. Just like the song. So that's the secret to N scale. You tell yourself that you got plenty of time. And then the rear truck goes to the rear with the arrow pointing out. So these pins that stick here, these two pins that stick here, they go towards the fuel tank. They go towards the fuel tank, and we'll do the same for the front one. And then I'm gonna check the alignment of all my contact strips. Make sure that everything's perfect. And if I'm happy with the result, then I can bring in my fuel tank. And let me just figure out if there's a front or a back to this. There certainly is. This indentation goes to the front. And you can see the gas tank doesn't really hold the contact strips. It's the frame detail that does. This is the frame detail, this black part here. That will hold the contact strips together. So that's interesting, a little bit of a different design. I'm going to be adding the extra details to the body before I put it on, but also I want to install my circuit board. So we can compare the shape of the two. You can tell the Excel Systems board is about the same. It's a little bit longer at the back. Fortunately, this area here is empty and there's lots of room for extra stuff on the frame. So that should be very easy to fit this in. Be careful the little contact strips from the motor. This little one here, you have to be thinking about it while you're doing it. You have to bend it back. It absolutely has to be under there. So I'm going to work a little bit on this off camera because I need to focus and look at what I'm doing. In the instructions, they also recommend putting a little bit of tape. So I will be doing that also. Now that my board is on correctly, what do you say we go try it on the track? Apparently that's what you're supposed to do. Put your locomotive on the track and then turn on your DCC controller. That's going to take a second to process. And then I'm going to go select loco and then 3. And let's see what we've got. That sounds pretty good. Oh yeah, we're happy. then reverse. Perfect. If you want to hear the startup on these, you have to go F8. And then to restart it, I think you press any key or F8 or F6, and then you can hear the startup. Awesome, so I'm going to put the shell back on. I really love putting the little handrails and the number boards on the engine. They give you some extra ones just in case you get into trouble and you drop one. You might even want to sweep the floor before you get into this. So I'm going to do them off camera because I want to be extra careful. I really don't want to drop them. I'm going to keep the 4 extra ones as spare part because oftentimes I get engines where they haven't been put on and they got lost or whatever. So I'll see you in a bit. I like this way of doing things. It makes me feel like I participated in building the engine. And also, I guess it reduces cost for them. I mean, it took me maybe 15 minutes. So if they have to pay a worker 15 minutes for every engine, it sure adds up to a lot. I really enjoyed these warning labels here. I have some 25 times magnification. I don't think you can read them, but even at 2 times magnification, they look very sharp. When I was putting the shell back on, I ran into a little bit of interference. The little light piping here for the rear headlights is a little bit longer than the decoder. So I'm going to have to shorten it just a tiny little bit to help it to fit in there. So I just made it a little bit shorter using my Dremel. I also have to shorten these fans, the air intakes for the radiators. I have to shorten the pipes just a tiny little bit to get them to fit. Now everything fits right in. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.